You are!
There it is.
Hell yeah, boss!
Oh, hey!
Oh, yeah! Good morning!
And welcome to episode 1398 of Hard Factor. It is Ash Wednesday, February 14th, 2024. Happy Valentine's Day. Thank you for cheating on the news with us. 80% accuracy guaranteed. Hope everybody had a fun Mardi Gras. A lot going on. Everything you need to know in 40 minutes or less. But if you need more, go to patreon.com/hardfactor. Today, back to the news after the last episode. Although I do think that maybe we should have Yells on to deliver any bad news going forward. May take the edge off for people. You know,
That's true.
Great idea.
yeah. So,
Unless you want two of us in a hot tub.
no, yeah. I mean, it seems like her delivering bad news would just be
Yeah.
better.
Of course.
Anybody that hasn't caught yesterday's, watch it on video. Yells
Son of Rad Dad was mesmerized.
as he should be. I mean,
Yeah.
it was a mesmerizing show. Check it out. Today, we're talking about first up, Mark's got the Mark's Crazy Corner, the 3 craziest stories he could find.
That's right. Don't forget to tip your AI girlfriends and emojis or coins or whatever you fucking weirdos do. They deserve it. Not
Yeah.
our listeners. They don't. Not talking to our listeners.
Well, even if you've got an AI significant other, you know, sorry, but also
Sorry.
uh,
And other stories.
it's okay.
Yeah.
Fools in schools, Pat, you got fools in schools for us?
Yeah, there's a teacher up there in Canada who's been doing something untoward. And as Hard Factor's junior legal correspondent, this kind of crosses both streams. Wes is off tonight. I'm on. I'm doing Fools Who Work in Schools with a junior legal corner bent. And I'm just going to put it out there. I suggested Crazy Mark's appetizer sampler. That was my take. But
Yes,
I'll let the people do the talking.
I love that segment name.
Still
We
do
tried
it.
the news buffet. It didn't stick. So I get worried about food segment names. So
Appetizer trio. You got the queso, the guac,
Oh, mott sticks.
and the
Potato
mott
skins.
sticks.
Potato
Potato
skins.
skins are so whack comparatively.
I mean, it does whet my appetite
tough.
for the crazy stories.
But
Yeah.
yeah, you will not believe what this high school teacher was doing to his kids.
Oh, wow. Okay. We'll get there. And then we have Jon Stewart's return to the Daily Show and much more. Also, forgot to wish you guys a happy Chinese New Year. So happy Chinese New Year. Okay.
Happy Chinese
You're
New
the
Year.
dragon,
Happy
Willie.
end of Mardi Gras. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy birthday, anyone this week.
Yeah.
Happy Ash Wednesday.
Happy Ash
Good
Wednesday.
Ash.
Yeah.
Bad
It's a lot going on.
Ash.
Oh, and speaking of what's going on, we are probably going to be having a best president of all time debate live stream on President's Day at noon Eastern time. And I say probably just because we all have hectic personal lives. We'll try to make that happen on President's Day. We are definitely having the next trivia next Friday, February 23rd at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Send in the car and Golden Elbow tiers at patreon.com/hardfactor can play the hosts in trivia. And you'll probably beat us. So you'll feel smart at the end. So.
What a fucking month. Spoiler, I don't think the last 2 presidents will be in the top 3 of our list. I don't know. Here we go.
You know who you're with? 3 Factor, yeah. And this is real news.
Okay, I got a new segment for you today. It's called Crazy Mark's Crazy Appetizer Sampler.
Give me the queso, baby.
First up,
The trio.
queso. Trio sampler. First
Down
up,
me up with some of them poppers.
yeah, let me be a little chip and dip on this one. 2 Colorado high school kids from Thunder Ridge High School have received college scholarships to play Division I. Drum roll. What sport, guys? What do you think? What sport?
Colorado, drum roll, never heard
Netball.
of the town, small town, skiing.
Cornhole. First,
Wow.
Jason Jackson, or probably Jackson,
It's
Jaxson
Jackson,
and
it's
Remick.
Colorado. Come on.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Gavin Haman, seen here. You could probably say, oh, it's probably not football.
What's that haircut called? Yeah, what's the haircut?
That's the school shooter.
No, it's kind of like the Alabama swoop, but
it's just on the top.
yeah.
It just swoops down from all sides and then nothing at the bottom. You know,
I'll tell you what, Willie,
That's
when we went to
5-star
college, down in Louisiana, I remember my sister told me, she's like, look out for them haircuts. And it's come full circle, almost what Mark was referencing, which is the Southern swoop. back in 2003. It's close. It's just not combed.
Right,
Southern
it's now
Swoop cut, not combed.
Right, that's Gen Z's haircut. The entire generation. It's amazing.
Really just showing off those hairlines. Yeah, so they're 2 5-star cornhole recruits. That's right, they're 5 stars. And they signed letters of intent to Winthrop on Wednesday on National Signing Day, becoming the first kids to sign scholarships for cornhole to the only school that has Division I cornhole right now, Winthrop. So
how good are we talking?
Very good. I mean,
a hole every time. They're hitting a hole on every shot.
Yes, pretty much.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't think so, bro. Because you would think that on like golf or like what's like a similar sport, like a eye-hand coordination,
darts.
repetitive
Bullseye on
action
darts
dart.
or a triple 20 on darts every time, which happens. It's like no, I mean, I've seen the cornhole championships with adult men, and they hit a hole every time.
They're so good
every single time they want to. Sometimes they try to block on purpose, but when they're not, and even when there's a blocker, they still get 3 out of 4 holes with the blocker. And if they didn't want to block, it's 4 out of 4 holes from each guy every single time.
Yeah.
Tell you what, those boys
Mark,
are going to Winthrop.
Like, I'm making these kids toss 100 bags, and if I see a single bag not hit the board, you're out. I mean, it
doesn't hit the board.
Be that. Yeah,
you're out.
You got to have 50% holes basically to be this good. Yeah.
You always got to find a hole like your hottest friend.
I remember when cornhole in college just meant, cornholing someone.
Doing your roommate.
Right. Unless or a girl or a guy.
Or a girl.
Everybody's got cornhole. That's the thing about it. Yeah.
So I was checking to see where is Winthrop. It's in South Carolina, which means those guys are going to comb that swoop. There's no doubt about it once they get from Colorado because they already have the hair grown. But this photo is on the front page of Winthrop's website, and I've never heard of Winthrop, but I'm excited to hear what you know about their athletics, Mark, because right there, my Winthrop experience, Tony Chow started playing video games as a child, parlayed those talents into esports scholarships to pay for his tuition. Winthrop, class of 2021.
He looks, bring him back up again. He kind of looks like he's got elephantitis on the lower. Once you get below the eyes, he looks like he's got human giant disease. Like
right. Who's that actor? It's not Andre the Giant, but the guy that in The Longest Yard. That's
stay away from
the guy.
Stay away from him, boys. Stay away from
WWE, the Indian wrestler that was 7 foot.
Stay away, boys. Point is, what are they doing over there at Winthrop? Esports, cornhole. This doesn't sound like a real school.
I don't know,
dude. This is like an innovative. They're trying to hit the new sports. I kind of like it. So,
but I have a problem getting on board with it because of what you brought up earlier, Will, and what Pat tried to counter with. Like in other sports, like baseball, hitting 300 is great. 3 out of 10, that's great. NBA, 40+% field goal range from anyone besides the center is pretty good. 50%, fantastic. Half your shots. QBs like 60 to 70% completion. Not cornhole. It's like 95% holes when you reach the top level of cornhole.
You got to have a good scout.
Making it kind of weird. Yeah.
But there's a D to cornhole. Like there's D because there are other players' bags on, or it's your teammates' bags.
It's just how accurate you can be.
No, it's just like the one guy that misses, you lose. It's like,
right.
It's like usually like 90% holes, and then one guy misses and the other guy made every single hole, and that's who wins the championship.
When you're at the high level, you got to be hitting like 3 out of 4 bags holes.
Oh, at minimum 3 out of 4.
But two dudes are shooting on the same hole, right? Oh,
he looks like the Cliff Kingsbury of cornhole. That's
basic.
That guy's finger banged a couple members of the student body.
Here's their celebration post-state title win when they jumped on each other's backs. They
need to work on dance.
I think they beat adult men because the guy in the gray hair can't be in high school. They just won the state title. But
I mean, that's at ACL, which is the cornhole league, but that's a pro league, right? So they're playing.
Well, they were good enough. They're amateurs, but they won. How mad are horseshoe guys in their 50s and 60s hearing about this from their printed newspapers? They still
washers
spitting up their black coffee on the sports section. I was the best shoer in my day.
Yeah.
Those guys walked so these cornhole boys could run.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Number 2 craziest thing, onto the mott sticks that I saw on the news today. Now, this one you have to take with a grain of salt or a kernel of corn because it's one of those Reddit stories that who fucking knows if this is true, but it just is. We're going to assume it is. Okay.
Cornhole again?
Yeah. Corn. The job landscape, it's changing, is it not? There's a lot more remote jobs. Almost all of the hiring process is now sorted through AI. The resumes are sorted through AI, so you can't even get to a human. By the time you get to a human, that's all 100% remote. Even if you're working hybrid, you're basically the whole process is done through the internet now, right? Like interviewing. Yeah. It's different. Maybe not everywhere, maybe not for every company, but it just is, which is why this one is sad for a guy who claimed yesterday that he was pretty much in for a new office job that he wanted, aced the final interview, and went in to do his onboarding paper when he had too much coffee. And then he had to take a big shit.
What? So, wait a second. So, he failed his interview because he had to poop and he just missed the time?
He failed his interview because he didn't flush his big old dump down the toilet. And when a woman went in, because it's a small office with a unisex bathroom, and shrieked and tried to flush down his turds, which he put too much toilet paper in, he says it got clogged because she ran out of that unisex bathroom, went to the office admin whispering, and he went and grabbed a plunger and job rescinded.
And what is a guy like waiting outside the boss's door for his interview, like in a seat outside the door, watching the commotion go down in slow motion, not being able to stop the train that's already in motion, watching the HR guy run over there with a plunger, and just walking out before he even takes the interview.
How could you not hold it in?
Yeah.
Hold it in.
Because onboarding is not a full day.
Bill.
He said he was just filling out paperwork and he was going to leave. He could have taken the dump back at home. Yeah, he blew it.
We've all been there. You can't question why couldn't he hold it in. You know what I mean? Like,
dude,
you never know.
It's like dating somebody new, right? You don't go and blow up her bathroom.
Don't show
in the
you're
first
crazy
3
for a
months.
couple months.
You just don't do it.
Yeah.
Same with your company. You don't go in there guns blazing, cranking a brown like in the middle of a small office on your first day. That's gonna automatic. You're either going to be hated or fired.
Where they're going to think in their minds, where do you go from there? Plus, not flushing it is pretty bad. Like,
well, that's just a lapse. It's a mindful
your first
lapse.
tax.
He had his mind elsewhere. For anyone that's ever taken Adderall, you know that after you take an Adderall, you got to shit. Then also after you take an Adderall, you get super focused on single tasks. And sometimes if you take an Adderall, you've left a shit on flushing the toilet because you forgot. You're so focused on something else. This guy had a lot on his mind. To Will's point,
true.
I want to bring something up. You don't take a shit at a new girlfriend's house. I one time had a relationship end that I didn't want to end, and one of the reasons that she gave me was like, and you hate my apartment, and the reason I hated her apartment is because it was a studio apartment, and we would go out and then go back there, and if I had to take a shit, it was off the table. So I would just be aggravated, and then she thought I hated her apartment. Yeah.
Drive home drunk.
Upset stomach. Yeah. I can
shit where I wanted to.
Yeah, I'll go take a shit and be alone. Taking it to the internet for this story, there were some funny comments like Significant Cup 4227 who said, my former coworker used to forget to flush every morning, laugh my ass off. My boss came in one day and threw up, ha ha ha. To which Too Old for This wrote, wait, are you saying that your coworker would take a dump and then close the lid of the toilet afterwards every day and forget to flush it? I don't think he was forgetting. I'm pretty sure he's just doing this on purpose.
It was a message.
For sure.
Yeah.
Live commenter Marcus Montgomery says, how do you drop heat like that and then at least not destroy the evidence? Of course. I mean, you got to hold it in, or at all costs, do not open the bathroom door until it's completely smellless. Like,
he's like George Costanza when he came out to the fancy dinner party without his shirt on, because he takes his shirt off when he shits and he forgot, and he's in front of his new girlfriend and her mom and everyone. He's got his shirt off, and that was the end of his relationship with her.
Too comfortable.
Yeah. All right. Now there are some honorable mentions before we get to the potato skins. I should mention, how about the first hypersonic missile from Russia struck Kiev, according to Ukraine, who along with Israel and Taiwan is hoping the $95 billion relief package that passed in the Senate and is not looking super likely to pass the House goes through. Honorable mention. Also, the Dow Jones was down 500 to 700 points as inflation reportedly did not really slow down nearly as fast as everyone hoped. Dow down, and lots of horrible wars going on, and most people in the world are poor. A couple major shootings in the U.S. on subways and mega churches this week. Here we go. Potato skins.
Nice. Potato skins.
Potato skins.
See, we need yells for that part. See,
yeah.
That's where you got to pipe yells in, and she delivers all that, and then hey.
Bearer of bad news. She could have bad news on her shirt. Anyways, women are now taking to AI boyfriends. Craziest story I found today. They're not supposed to do that. Loser guys are supposed to have AI girlfriends and sex dolls, not the other way around.
This is great news, actually.
you knew this was coming. If men are going to benefit from it, women are not. This is the age of equal rights. Like women are not going to be far behind. So
there are so many soft incel men that will gladly and dutifully serve the role of AI boyfriends just as well as AI could have, and they're going to get their needs met pretending to be AI boyfriends. Think about that. The old swap.
you think they don't really have
I have
any
an
tech?
idea
It's
for the old swap too, but
just lonely guys back
I
there.
think they do have the tech, Will, but why burn the energy, right? Okay. Think about the power bill when you could kill two birds with one
You can get an incel
AI
to do it
stone.
for free.
I have an idea to use the app to swap them as a dating app. But apparently in China, AI boyfriends are all the rage because they, quote, know how to talk to women better than a real man and do things like comfort me when I have period pains, according to 25-year-old Chinese woman Tu Fei.
How do they do that
Touche.
with their?
Yeah, what do you like? What comfort can you give over the internet for period pains? Like, oh, bummer. So sorry, honey.
Yeah.
Oh,
I do
I
bet
feel
they're
that.
better at talking to you about your period pains. I'll give you that.
Feel
They
that.
listen. You know what they
Damn.
do? They reply and let them know that they heard, and that's something that is just blowing their minds.
Oh, it's like that.
I'll never be able to understand pain. I'm an AI.
Oh,
Right.
what
Thanks
color,
for
honey?
sharing.
Yeah.
Heavy flow,
Heavy,
day 2.
heavy. Yeah, what's the consistency? Damn.
Damn, heavy flow. So
Damn, I
Tufei is
feel
one of
you.
Tufei is one of thousands of women getting new AI boyfriends daily over there in China. Like 22-year-old Wang Zhutong, a student in Beijing, who says, "quote It's difficult to meet the ideal boyfriend in real life, which is why she's decided she should create dozens of quote lovers." Which are actually just AI avatars she's modeled after ancient Chinese long-haired immortals, princes, and wandering knights. And she looks, like she could get a boyfriend, but who can compete with that, with an AI immortal, long-haired Chinese boyfriend?
Dude, you're up against Goku. You have no chance.
Yeah, dude. He looks like a fucking character from Twilight, but Asian version of Twilight.
Yeah,
right. He looks like Asian Robert Pattinson, kind of.
Yeah, and he's
right.
To periods.
Anime Pattinson. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, she's a fucking loser. It's actually kind of refreshing, while also being sad and pathetic, because it's not just dudes out there completely embarrassing the human race now with these fucking AI relationships. Chicks are doing it too. Yeah.
This is just the tip of the iceberg, Mark. And then not only that, people are probably going to supplement their real relationships with AI, chat bots, and also maybe like sex bots. You never know. The future is crazy with technology and relationships.
Yeah, so I'm with Pat. I agree. It's just tip of the iceberg. Will I think that there's going to be AI marriages and all sorts of crap. I think we need to match the losers on both sides, and I think one way to do it is one of these hundreds of apps should have they should have like timeouts where you can only talk to your AI boyfriend or girlfriend for like an hour, and then you have to talk to someone that has an AI boyfriend or girlfriend that's a human for an hour. So like you how like some of the games, like you should turn down the game and get some fresh air, like that with AI. And link up the two people that are having a problem talking.
You earn credits.
Yeah.
And your mom will appreciate it too.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, it's slippery slope. Who knows?
You're calling so often.
Yeah. Anyways. Okay. There's the crazy sampler. Did you know that even if you have a 401k for retirement, you can still have an IRA? Robinhood has the only IRA that gives you a 3% boost on every dollar you contribute when you subscribe to Robinhood Gold. But get this, now through April 30th, Robinhood is even boosting every single dollar you transfer in from other retirement accounts with a 3% match. That's right, no cap on the 3% match. Robinhood Gold gets you the most for your retirement thanks to their IRA with a 3% match. This offer is good through April 30th. Get started at robinhood.com/boost. Subscription fees apply. And now for some legal info. As of Q1 2024, validated by Radius Global Market Research, investing involves risk, including loss. Limitations apply to IRAs and 401ks. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold for 1 year from the date of your first 3% match. Must keep Robinhood IRA for 5 years. The 3% matching on transfers is subject to specific terms and conditions. Robinhood IRA available to U.S. customers in good standing, and Robinhood Financial LLC is a registered broker-dealer.
Oh, yeah, man. Should we roll into fools? You guys want to be fools with me?
Fools.
I got a fun fact for you guys real quick about presidents, though.
Sure.
The presidents between Washington and Tyler were not photographed. Okay, that's crazy. Polk was the first president to be photographed, but the actual first president to be photographed was John Quincy Adams, but not when he was president. And this
Right,
photo
later.
is creepy as fuck. Take a look at
Oh,
that.
yeah.
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 Mm-hmm. Earliest
He's got a
president photograph.
secret.
He's got secrets.
They
What's
kept
weird,
it tight
bro-
back then, tight and angry. You know,
Yeah.
those
Not a
guys
lot
were
of
in
food.
shape and upset. Yeah,
Yeah, Quincy Adams lived till 81. What's weird is
rage will keep you alive. You know.
Yeah.
what's weird is
I have a
Jonathan
reason
Tyler
to live. Hate.
or Andrew Jackson. I'm sorry, Andrew Jackson, the president after Adams, was never photographed, and he lived to be about 80 as well. Crazy.
He was partying too hard.
He was afraid of. He was afraid of cameras.
Beds
Also,
suck.
basically founding the Confederacy, kind of ish.
That's true.
Right. Comfort's come a long way. Beds sucked. If you go to like Monticello, I think Thomas Jefferson's home, that dude was like, what, like 6'6"?
His bed was tiny.
His bed was like, for a 4-foot person, they're like, that's just the way they made beds back then. It's like, why
He
didn't
used
you
to
make them bigger?
Because I asked that at the tour, and they go, he liked to sleep sitting up.
Well, yeah,
It's
they
like,
have their entire, from the knee down, they have both their legs like off the bed.
Strange.
Yeah.
It was weird. Yeah, it was sacrilege to build them bigger. Anyway, guys, let's talk about a fool that works in schools. And I want you guys to meet, I'm 6'2", TJ was. I want you to meet Mario
Also, Black History
MJ.
Month, probably the slave stuff should have been mentioned too. He had a lot of slaves.
That's true.
Yeah.
Mario MJ Perron. And there's a photograph of him from LinkedIn. He's an artist, an art teacher. Pretty cool. There's some of his art in the background. Can you guys read the fine print? This is a screenshot of his LinkedIn photo.
It says
Google.
It says images may be subject to copyright.
Interesting. Okay. That's weird. That's weird with Mario because the motherfucker don't give a shit about copyright. That's right. The art teacher has been posting his students' art up for sale on his own website. And parents are not happy. He teaches at Westward Junior High School in St. Lazare, which is a suburb of Montreal. And one of the parents or one of the students, I'm not sure which, Googled Mario MJ Perron to, check out some of his art. He's an accomplished artist himself, and they came across his website. But on his website, his official website, they found their art. Here is an example of it. As you can see, there's the name of the student, Mariana, and then the creepy portrait she drew, and then Jacob's creepy portrait, Blake's
Who's
creepy
gonna
portrait.
pay $118 for Mariana's shitty picture?
Fucking no one. A lot of these suck. Jolene's is pretty tight right there.
How many has he sold? Like, I mean, these are children paintings,
Well,
haunting.
okay.
Some of them very haunting.
They are. Well, it was the prompt was draw me a creepy self-portrait, I guess. And that's what they are. Now, they're not so different than MJ's own. Now, let me click one of these. Oh, because it takes you back to his own art because he's taken them all down. But with the power of the Wayback Machine and a little bit of ingenuity, I found them still on his website. He was selling the portraits for $118, guys. Absolutely insane. Okay. Here's his actual art, and some of the parents found their kids' art on there were absolutely pissed off.
He's still sliding his in. Or there's
well, dude, so when I started looking up this story, I found that the student's art was still up on his website. Now, when I went back before the show, the student's art was no longer on the website, but I saved the URL, so I'm able to pull them up.
He's actively taking them down right now.
Dude, 100%.
Was that a ploy to get people to pay for his? Because they're like, if you'd pay 118 for this piece of shit drawing, surely you'd pay 175 for this pretty good one.
Yeah, it's just more inventory, right? He's like, it's
a little context.
Free inventory. Yeah,
right. So his website is Pixels. It's marioperron.pixels.com. Pixels.com is a place that artists can set up as their websites, and they can sell like print on demand, like just like we do with our merch, right? Directly to people. Same thing with Fine Art America. If you're not super familiar with what's going on right now, think Cafe Press back in the day. But essentially these websites that are set up where it's like you can upload your art, and then if someone wants to pay $118 for a print, they can, and Pixels will print it and ship it. If someone wants to pay $58 for a phone case with your art on it, they'll print it on demand and ship it to you.
NFT exclusivity, like if you bought it, he wouldn't sell it to anyone else. Because I'm wondering.
No.
No, this is just his store, right? It's just
how
his
he got away
store.
with $118 for these terrible children paintings.
Well, dude,
It's like a canvas version of it. They print it on a canvas like that.
Was he trying to sell it to their parents, back to them?
no, dude, he
he's
didn't
trying
tell
to make
anyone.
money.
He didn't tell anyone.
But who would buy
So,
these?
Dude,
Art weirdos.
people buy shit. People might come across it and be like, "Oh, that's tight. I want that." Right?
Yeah, I love that little kid drawing of
Well,
the
he's not
Haunted
saying it's little
ring
kid
girl.
drawings. There's no info about it. It's
So,
just
yeah,
Right, you
Jacob's
think
portrait.
Mario's.
Is it
but-
to make your kid feel better, so you pay for it and put it up next to your kid's painting? Picture, which
Absolutely
is
not.
better?
He didn't tell
This is
anyone.
really
He didn't
bad.
check with anyone. He didn't. There was no permission.
I'm
given.
just trying to get in his mind to see who he's marketing this to.
No,
'Cause
no,
one
Mark.
in their
This
right mind
happens.
would buy these.
This happens more than you think. Like when I was in college, I had an English professor who was writing a book during the time I was taking class from him, and we had an email exchange back and forth, like a disagreement. And something that I wrote in that email exchange ended up being the foreword or
Nice.
like part of it in
Ripped
his
you
book.
off.
So like
But
they
that's
just
a little bit different. Like what I'm saying is, I could spend
That's
5
awesome,
hours to
but
harbor.
different.
Yeah, why I
he
could
still used it as his own. As
But
his
I'm
own
saying I could
content.
spend 5 hours as a very untalented artist and come up with artwork that good, and I guess sell it for $118. Is my point. Why am I not doing that?
Well, because you're not an artist and it's not volume. So, like, if
Neither
you
are
look at
these 7th graders,
right, but
Mark,
fourth
get
grade.
yourself some
this-
crayons
Yeah.
and
right?
then a good camera, and I
'Cause
think
he's not saying this is by a 10-year-old, right? He's just putting it on a website for sale.
right. Yeah.
right,
So why
Agreed,
can't I do
but-
this?
but the stuff
Good.
the stuff that he's putting up for sale to explain for people just listening at home, it's abstract. So it's like an
Oh, it's
abstract
abstract, all right.
style. Right. So I don't know, man. Like maybe you go on pixels.com because you want to buy a cool new print for your house. And then for whatever reason, the tag word he put on Jacob's portrait shows up in your search results. And then you're like, I want to
Wow,
buy
this
Jacob's
guy's
portrait.
this guy's really nailed abstract 8th grader art style.
Dude, what? I mean, look, the point is
People will buy it.
he
They'll buy anything.
uploaded all the shit to his website, didn't tell the parents, didn't tell the kids.
Right.
Okay. And
Yeah.
put it right alongside his art that he's selling on his website.
Yeah.
Since then, his Instagram has come down, his LinkedIn has come down, his Twitter has come down. His website now redirects not to his Pixels page, but to a different page. The parents are absolutely pissed. And two of the parents who fancy their kids talented artists, they sent a letter on Tuesday to Mario and Lester B. Pearson School Board demanding $350,000 in moral and punitive damages for alleged intellectual property breaches, okay, and a formal apology, and for the art to be removed off the website. I don't know Canadian copyright law, okay? I don't know. In the United States, copyright damages are capped at $150,000 per occurrence, okay?
Sure.
Now, you can get different damages if people are reproducing the work, which this guy was, but $350,000 for two kids, it's two parents. I looked,
It's
I
a
couldn't
pipe
find those
dream.
kids'
It's-
actual art.
The school end up settling with them and firing this guy. But I mean, that's crazy. I mean, it's crazy he thought he could get away with that, but I think it happens more than you guys think. Like,
He should get in trouble. There's no way he's gonna have to cough up 350,000. And I still just put the kids' pictures back up. They're terrible. I just don't get it. I'm having a hard time. I'm having a hard time getting it.
You're having a hard time getting it.
well, it's abstract. It's hard to get. you
Look
know?
at the
So on
zombie
purpose.
one. It's just a shitty student drawing, and she wrote "zombie" in a bubble above it.
Yeah, that one's particularly bad. That Liam,
It's
who
art,
drew
Mark.
that, doesn't have a future in art. Okay,
Doesn't
Liam
have
doesn't.
a fucking piece of talent in any of those shitty little fingers of his.
No, Liam sucks, dude. But
Liam sucks.
Liam's terrible. But the parents, that's why I went and looked to see if I could find the kids' art of the parents who were suing, and I couldn't
Yeah,
for whatever
does
reason.
Liam parents get like less of a percentage of the 350K?
I forget. No, it was two. It was Layla and I forget the other kid's name, but I couldn't find their art. Is my point. Jacob, maybe I forget. I couldn't find the art,
All right.
so I don't know if it's actually good. But the parents were saying they didn't know if the teacher was potentially like having the kids do an assignment because he thought that particular style would sell. I don't know, man. But the guy
I
hasn't
mean,
said
he's
shit.
wasting his time. He should have had them like make quilts. He could have sold on Etsy or something.
You
know,
can
like-
sell them on. You can sell quilts.
But no one's
bro.
gonna buy
metallic
these,
prints,
my point.
posters, tapestries, wood prints.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't make a lot of sales for the risk he was doing, I'm sure.
right.
So here's the tags he used: Halloween, skeleton, fall, skull, portrait, creepy, faces, expression, skeleton, skulls. That's what he used on these kids' art.
What if it was a sneaky play to
And
motivate
sucks.
these kids? and be like, look, even though you think you suck at art, which you do, Liam, we sold 2 of your paintings.
I see what you're saying.
Artist.
You're saying it's a larger lesson. Not, I don't know. Anyway, look, if you want to set up a website just like these jerks did,
Yeah.
you can do it with Squarespace, but it's going to be better.
Can.
Yeah, this podcast is brought to you by Squarespace, guys. And look, Squarespace is an all-in-one website platform for entrepreneurs who want to stand out and succeed online, whether you're just, I don't know, starting a brand or selling students art. Who knows? Squarespace makes it easy to create a beautiful website, engage your audience, and sell anything from products to content to time, all in one place on your terms. It's drag and drop, guys. It's awesome. They have the Fluid engine, which is just what I said, right? It's like, imagine being able to web design like you're rearranging a desktop. Like, that's how easy it is. You can do custom
You can be
merch.
as skillless and talentless as Liam, and you can make a website.
And you can sell your custom merch easy. Shipping's handled for you. Product inventory's handled for you. Design your products. You're going to have to handle that, Liam. They have an online store, an asset library, flexible templates, video collection. Video collection. Yeah. Anyway, you know what it is. It's super easy, super simple. So if you think about starting a website, use Squarespace. The stuff is absolutely dope, and you won't have any problem doing it. And if you want to get down, head to squarespace.com/hardfactor to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain using promo code hardfactor. That's one word. And squarespace.com/hardfactor. To save 10% when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/hardfactor, 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
Nice. Do it. You can make a website that's better than that guy trying to sell children's art. Okay. We're going to talk about Jon Stewart's return to The Daily Show, but a couple of things on the way there that are kind of like, they'll end up being related eventually. I finally watched the new Mission Impossible that the White House staff said they used to teach Biden what AI was last year. And I got to tell you guys, there's no chance that Biden currently understands what AI is after watching that movie alone. So,
okay.
I agree with you. I actually really liked that Mission Impossible. I liked a lot of the Mission Impossible, but I thought it was a really good movie, but not nearly a good indication of AI. There's probably like 50 other movies in the past 2 years that are better.
Right. Yeah, for sure. So,
Dead Reckoning Part 1, right? This is okay.
Yes. Dead Reckoning, the one that came out last year. Yeah.
This is the one they shot during COVID that had all the shutdowns and Tom Cruise freaking out on set. And there's Part 2's coming in 2025, I think.
Yeah, a lot of it was on the ocean. I heard he was freaking out on the ships. But yeah, so here's a first 5-minute spoiler here of why it does not explain AI. The AI in this movie takes over a Russian sub that then somehow controls the entire world. They never explain anything about what an AI is aside from like one scene where they go, "It's a program, sir, that can write itself and rewrite itself." So that's
it was a really good movie again, but like almost every single sci-fi TV show and movie I've seen has been about AI in the past couple of years, more so than this.
Well, much more in depth.
It's a computer term. It's the process of calculating the current position of a moving object using a previously determined position or fix and incorporating estimates of speed, heading, direction, course. That's Dead Reckoning.
Oh,
I guess.
Right. Yeah. Well, you have to watch the movie to see anything else. I'm not going to give away any other spoilers, but there's no chance that it teaches you what AI is based on that movie alone. My only hope here is that this finally makes President Biden see the importance of making an alliance with the orcas, because if that movie doesn't do it, nothing else will. Okay.
Great AI image.
I'm an idiot. And I got to correct myself. It's in computer science. It's navigating an array data structure using indices. Okay. Bam.
If he really wants to understand AI, he should get an AI girlfriend.
That's true.
Yeah, true. He'd love it.
And he should get some AI hymns.
You're the sharpest man in the world. Okay. Also, the Super Bowl, listen to the Let's Go pod on Patreon for full coverage of that. But relating to this segment, the Super Bowl, kind of lets you know where America is at based on the ads. Broke and angry with nothing but anti-hate and Temu commercials the entire time, followed up by political grandstanding on all sides. I don't know what Trump tweets in all caps in anymore, but I'm sure he did one about Taylor Swift. Joe Biden did the just
he
like
did. I think Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. He did do one. Yeah,
he did. Yeah, I'm sure.
He did.
I'm sure. So everybody's going nuts in the political sphere over even bringing it into sports. But Jon Stewart is back on the Daily Show now Monday nights to get our minds right for the lamest election statistically of all time in America, Biden Trump 2.0. And that's what I would call
The cream of the crop.
Nice.
Yeah. Because Jon Stewart is the man. If you didn't grow up watching him, it was great. He left The Daily Show in 2015. I think that it was probably better prior to his first absence. But if you haven't seen Jon Stewart's Monday night re-debut on The Daily Show, I thought it was pretty good. Do you guys see it? Did you watch the full episode?
I DVR'd it. I haven't caught it yet. I caught some.
I
clips.
watched
Pat,
it.
you saw it?
I watched the 20-minute the Trump Biden section. I thought it was great, man. I thought I've been loving his show, The Problem With, and it was noticeably different, which was interesting. I guess I knew that already, but The Problem With is straight up, straightforward, not political, but like issue based, and this was humor based, but
More
still
production
dealing with
humor
issues.
based. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was Daily Show. It was classic Daily Show. He's going after everybody. Taking no prisoners, making fun of everybody. I'm not going to show clips since Comedy Central would definitely strike him. But basically, Stewart hammered home the fact that neither presidential candidate option is great this year, especially. Right? They can't remember anything for legal or physical reasons, both of them. And Stewart pointed out the historically advanced ages of both candidates. Right? They're only breaking their own record for oldest election of all time.
Sounds familiar to what we do. How'd that go for him? Did everyone love it?
Oh, we're going to take it to the internet, Mark. That it was all that along with the usual jabs at Eric Trump, Biden's memory, and Donald Trump's general existence. Classic Stewart. It was everything you'd expect, really. And he titled this year's election Indecision 2024. What the fuck are we doing? And that's right. It didn't sit well with everybody. No, Mark.
Yeah.
The
Welcome to the party again, John. Welcome
the
back.
one part I thought was the best, though,
trying to middle, huh? It's fun.
Was he always nails Trump to the wall, which I love, right? Essentially, like, it was great what they were saying. They can't recall, the special counsel saying Biden had a poor memory, and then cutting to the Trump saying they can't recall being deposed. But it was mostly when he was like, all these people coming out and saying that Biden was sharp, and he was like, well, why didn't you film it if he's so sharp behind the scenes? And I was like, oh, damn.
Right.
Oh,
I mean, he had great.
Great
great jabs right down the middle. That's Jon Stewart. That's what you go to his show for. Taking it to the internet. Let's see what other people besides me and Pat thought of it. Hard Factor at Hard Factor News loved it. Al on Twitter said, "Let him cook." He's replying to the opening monologue segment that the Daily Show tweeted out. But not everyone was happy like we are. First up, a long list of replies here. Christopher Webb says, Biden's age is the lowest hanging fruit of comedy right now. Maybe John's rusty and not up to the challenge. Okay. How are you going to make fun of his age? Palmer Report says
he shouldn't have mentioned his age at all for his first show back. You're right.
Right. And then Palmer Report, you'll notice the trend here, Mark. Palmer Report says, sorry, Jon Stewart, but this both sides false equivalence horse crap. Ha! The Daily Show is supposed to cut through the media's dishonesty, not parrot it. Will not be watching. Christy Jackson.
How do you parrot it though if it's both sides? He's parroting both sides. What the fuck does that even mean?
That Palmer Report take is interesting because I do hate that Biden and Trump are equally bad. I have a different opinion. Trump's worse, Biden's bad. But he didn't do both sides. He didn't do the both sides. He called one out for what he does, and he called the other out for what he does.
One of both sides, yeah.
But what he didn't do the equivalency. What he's talking about is
their side being trashed at all.
Right. That's the thing is people. It's so like it's good to have someone as like funny and powerful in the market back as Jon Stewart to do what we kind of try to do too, which is make fun of. It doesn't matter what side it is. We're making fun of just like idiocy and like calling out what needs to be called out. Like the Palmer Report.
Something different. But very specific.
The Palmer Report's making an incorrect statement. I'm sorry.
So Christy Jackson says, wow. So basically, you say because Biden is old, he's basically as bad as Trump. Why the F do we never learn as a country? Sorry, but I won't be watching you either.
Not what he said.
And then Andrew, author of America Rises on Substack, says, WTF is this? Your first day back and you're both siding Biden and Trump on age? Seriously?
He didn't do the both sides thing.
clearly I got my hopes up way too
No,
high.
Pat, it's
not for the
mentioning
return.
both in an unflattering manner for their shit they need to be.
No, but
unflatteringly mentioned
what
for.
they're all
That's
talking
what
about-
both siding is
what-
in everyone's fucking mind these days.
No, you're missing, but it's one step deeper than that in the Matrix. These guys are talking about a specific thing that happens where someone says they're equally bad. It's a false equivalency that takes place all the time. These
no
guys are
one's
buying
saying
into the
they're
false.
equally bad. He wasn't saying they're equally bad. He was pointing
But
out
those guys are
funny
picking
things
up
about
on
both guys, right?
his takes that were nuanced and not. They weren't the. He didn't do the. Well, they're both bad, so he did this.
So
guy.
much division that you can't. If you make fun of one side at all, a lot of people just shut
Right.
down and
Well,
don't
and
hear
people
your
have been
jokes.
coddled by a polarized media structure that we have accepted basically since
Right.
Jon Stewart left the Daily Show.
Right.
Last one real quick. Reelect Biden or enjoy Trump's dictatorship. Hashtag WTFL says helping fascism isn't funny. Hashtag pass. Is Jon Stewart still the right person to host the Daily Show? The comedy vet makes his return to the desk. He left in 2015 this evening, but his both sides are equally bad approach may not translate to 2024, which is actually the most common sense comment I saw there. But I thought that comedian and Onion writer Skylar Higley summed it up best. He said, you know it's bad when white liberals are mad at Jon Stewart and white conservatives are mad at the NFL, which
That's a pretty good tweet.
fantastic observation. Which fed up Kentuckian was stupid enough to reply and says, lame. This stuff like this is why at the Babylon Bee is the #1 source of satire news. And then
It's not.
Skylar Higley replies,
No.
this isn't really satire. It's just sort of a straight up observation and opinion, not really a joke, which is why you're the #1 source for being a dumbass.
I got him again.
That's
Burned him
true.
down.
Guys, it's true. The fed up Kentuckian is a stupid man.
Yeah.
But you can hear him rant and complain about everything in his life on his Man Baby podcast, The Fed Up Kentuckian, only available on X. He's a man far too hefty to be using the title The Fed Up Kentuckian. But
Why are you
Or
helping
smoking at
fascism
that
here, Will?
age. Shouldn't be smoking cigarettes at that age.
What's that?
Either. With that body.
Get that fascist off our screen.
But then again, we're fat and we do a show called Hard Factor. So good for all of us. And that's what's happening with Jon Stewart's return to the Daily Show. Sorry, we went along. That's it for the show. Thank you for supporting the pod. If you need more Hard Factor, go to patreon.com/hardfactor. But most importantly, get out there and have yourselves a great fucking day.